Lindsay Geektron here. So before I get going, I want to take a quick moment to let everybody know that I am no longer hosting Waypoint or Summoner Showcase Revival, but instead, I have a brand new show on Zam's YouTube channel called the Friday Update Arcade, where every week I round up the biggest stories in gaming. You guys should go check out that show, after this one of course, and let me know what you guys think, leave some love, share it around with your friends, because as we all know, sharing is caring. I don't know. Anyway, now the PSAs are done, let's talk some League. This week's champion trends feature Lucian, Gnar, Nocturne, Cassiopeia, Zed, and Evelynn. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, increased pick rates include Kha'Zix, Lucian, Cassiopeia, Akali, and Renekton. In spite of recent changes to his kit, Lucian is undoubtedly one of the strongest carries in the current meta. For the most part, he hasn't gone too much out of style this entire season, and his pick rate has been steadily climbing week after week. Let's look at why. He has incredible poke and wave clear from Piercing Light. Since it now does the full damage to minions, he has one of the best wave clears for a marksman, which of course helps him in lane. His passive, Light Slinger, ensures wins in trades. He can quickly dash in to proc his passive, and then chunk his enemies before they can fight back. For all of his power, Lucian doesn't skill as well as some of the other carries in the game like Tristana and Kog'Maw, so make sure you're taking advantage of his laning phase. The most common item to rush is Infinity Edge, followed up with either Ghostblade or Static Shiv, as they both synergize really well. Ghostblade's active allows Lucian to get more shots off from his ultimate, while Static Shiv gives him more burst and AoE. With days to go before the World Championship, you can bet Freak's Chinstrap will be seeing the Purifier at Finals. Decreased pick rates for this week list Yasuo, Gnar, Tristana, Nami, and Veigar. The missing link is the newest, cutest champion on the Rift. I mean, just look at his Dino Gnar skin, it's kind of adorable. Moving on, Gnar has a very interesting kit. He will periodically change into a giant monster once he builds up enough rage. However, you can't exactly control when he can change, and that makes him a tricksy hobbit. Or the Hulk. Whichever. In lane, he has a lot of poke from his boomerangs, and his jump lets him escape from situations that would otherwise be bad times. And when Little Gnar changes form, his abilities also change. He loses his range and mobility, but he gains a bunch of CC and tools for initiating. That means, since he has to soak up damage to build up rage, he has to be in the middle of a team fight. Build typical tank items like Sunfire Cape, Spirit Visage, and Randuin's Omen to help his survivability in those team fights. And then, sit back and watch your pet grow into the rage beast we all know is in there. Increased win rates this week have Urgot up first. Singed, Alistar, Nocturne, and Shaco finish off the list. I swear guys, every week this list has the most random champions. And no, we're still not going to talk about Urgot. The Eternal Nightmare shows up this week on the increased win rates for a few reasons. While he doesn't have the best early game since he has no gap closer or hard CC, he is, however, a farming monster. And he has one of the fastest jungle clears. He also has a long initiation ability with his ultimate, Paranoia, which allows him to reach the backline with scary ease. You want to build damage items on him like Spirit of the Elder Lizard and Bork to turn him into one of the most nightmarish assassins on the Rift. Against immobile carries like Twitch and Kog'Maw, he is especially deadly and would be a good counterpick. It's entirely possible we'll see him picked during the World Championships. Decreased win rates this week list Cassiopeia down over 9.5% from last week. Aatrox, Jace, Jax, and Teemo finish off the list. The Serpent's Embrace got a fancy new update and gameplay rework. Her place on the decreased wins this week is due to this rework, as it will take some time for players to get used to her new kit. Let's go over the changes. Her new passive, Aspect of the Serpent, grants her percentage bonus of her AP, and along with a death cap, she can liquidate an enemy in moments. She has a strong laning phase as she has tools to trade and bully, while at the same time is able to wave clear and level up quickly. Cass also has some CC to her kit, and has a slow plus an AoE stun with her ultimate, Petrifying Gaze. However, her ultimate can be very tricky to use. As the name suggests, Petrifying Gaze only works on champions if Cass is gazing at them. If an enemy is facing her when she ulties, they are stunned for 2 seconds. If they're facing away from her, they are slowed for 60% for 2 seconds. Like every champion who receives a rework, expect Cassiopeia's time on the decreased win rates to be temporary. She'll be back to melting faces all over the Rift in no time. Hooray! Increased bans this week show Tristana still climbing quickly and jumped quite a bit like last week. Kha'Zix, Zed, Yasuo, and Ryze trail behind. Like the master he is, Zed has come back from the shadows and is starting to take over the rift all over again. With the recent nerfs to mid lane mages, his shadow mechanics give him a high potential to outplay his opponents and dodge their abilities. With the nerf to exhaust and immobile hyper carries like Kog'Maw and Twitch being popular, Zed has found a spot in competitive play. He can survive and do decently well against most laners. He does really well in the mid game as he can insta-kill important targets. In the late game, he can be an effective split pusher and can create a distraction by drawing the enemy team to him. And just like last year's World Championships, we should expect to see a lot of the ninja in the upcoming games. Finally, decreased bans this week are Alistar, Maokai, Kassadin, Evelynn, and Braum. The Widowmaker has slowly been losing her popularity ever since her nerfs a while back. And even though no one wants to play with her, she's still a very viable champion in certain situations. Her invisibility still applies immense amounts of pressure. She can still jump on you when you least expect it and kill you from behind, which can be utterly terrifying. The early damage nerfs heavily affected her ability to snowball out of control, which I guess is a good thing. When the towers start to go down in the mid game, the open map gives her more freedom to roam. And this is where she excels. She picks off overextended laners with very little problem. Eve has a dual role as a tank and initiation when it comes to teamfights, and usually players will flank an enemy to engage. Since she has invisibility, it makes it very hard for enemy teams to keep control of her. And it's entirely possible we may see Evelynn show up at some point during the World Championships. And that does it for this week's episode. Please be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure to like and comment below, especially if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolKing.net, for more great content. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitch at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.